So quite a few people have been asking me about that new Spider-Verse movie. I think that it is glorious. It's absolutely amazing, stupendous, beautiful. Cinematography is amazing. They've got the movie looking somehow even better than the first Spider-Verse. It does get a little too graphics, you know, like they really embraced the comic book style of things, and it was really, really cool to see that. It made it a visual treat, but we did see it standard edition, and it definitely felt like this movie was designed around being 3D, and so some visual areas definitely suffered from that. But even though I think that this is a fantastic movie that I can easily recommend to people, I actually didn't like it. It kind of pissed me off because the movie ends on a cliffhanger. I'm not going to end up giving you guys any spoilers, but it ends on a cliffhanger. And when it did, there were a couple things that immediately came to mind. One, the story felt padded. It felt like it was dragged out for the sake of coming to a conclusion, hitting that 2 hours and 30-minute mark so that they could then make a sequel afterwards and franchise it. It didn't feel like it came to a conclusion or came to a satisfying ending of a what the heck's gonna happen next. More so, it was just like, okay, this felt like a waste of time because there was so much content in the movie that could have very easily just been cut out to make this a standalone movie, or even just a standalone adventure that would then end up having a sequel that would continue right after, similar to the first Spider-Verse movie and this one, right? But right now we've got the second Spider-Verse, which is a two-parter. Like, it's a required, you know, see the third part in order to end up seeing the entire movie or the entire story. And the thing is that I also feel like Sony is basically trying to do a Marvel's Avenger on us. So they are taking the Spider-Man franchise and it feels like they're gonna go big mode with it and kind of emulate what Disney did, which could be good, could be bad, where they're going to really start to, you know, dive deep into the Spider-Verse and the multiverse stuff so that we're going to get multiple movies and franchises based on many, many different characters with many different actors. You know, they ended up pushing in the Spider-Verse movie a lot of different Spider-Man movies that are under Sony, even some references to Venom. They also referenced the new Spider-Man game that's coming out later this year. And all of that was really cool, but at the same time, it kind of felt like marketing, you know, more so than something that, oh, this is such a cool reference. It was like they very, very specifically started focusing on stuff that's coming, you know, that Sony is releasing more specifically. And in a lot of ways, this Spider-Verse felt like a commercial to me. I know that nobody else is going to end up feeling the same way that I did, but for me, I could very easily see the CEO behind Sony saying, okay, I want you guys to make this movie, but I want you to make it very open-ended so that we can sell as much product as possible, right? And, you know, even, you know, this is nothing new to the Spider-Verse franchise, you know, with Miles using Sony headphones and all of this stuff. You know, there's so much product placement, it's actually a little bit ridiculous. Even references to the Spider-Man game where they have the Spider-Man character, they have one of the characters playing the video game, like it was just a little heavy-handed. Now, with all of that said, I do still think it was an incredible movie. It's not like I regret seeing it or anything, but I will admit that I was very frustrated after it ended up just kind of coming to an end because it felt unearned. It wasn't like the Thanos ending where it was like, God damn, dude, like what's gonna happen next? How are they gonna get back at him? Time travel because we're lazy. It just felt like they ran out of time to make this movie, or more specifically, it felt like they always intended on having a part 3, and they'll probably end up spinning off and doing a bunch of other things as well. It could be great, you know, in the long, grand scheme of things, more Spider-Man is never a bad thing. But I just wanted to share my own opinions on it and just kind of share how I felt with it. I don't think that most people are going to share my consensus with this movie. I think that a lot of people might even like the cliffhanger. You can sound off in the comments if you have an opinion on it. Try not to give too many spoilers, but at the same time, people that are watching this know that there's probably going to be spoilers in the comments. I mean, generally speaking, it's difficult to avoid spoilers on anything nowadays if you end up looking it up in any way, shape, or form. Again, in conclusion, still highly recommend the movie, but I didn't like it. Like, it might seem harsh, but I'm actually gonna give the movie a 2 out of 5 with the stipulation that that is a 2 out of 5 out of Spider-Man movies, okay? Because as far as this movie compares to a lot of the other crap Hollywood's dumping out, you know, like that Dungeons and Dragons movie was just like a waste of time to watch it. Spider-Verse is still so much higher quality than most of the other stuff out there. But in comparison to the movies that I do enjoy, like the Mario movie, the Guardians movie, and even the other Spider-Man movies, this one felt pretty weak. There was a lot of stuff to love about it, but in the end, there was just too many things that I didn't like about it. More specifically, the story itself felt like it was just the exact same as Spider-Verse, but it just introduced a bunch of different characters to focus on instead of relying on the previous established characters outside of Gwen, which who cares?